So God's operating system is done. This is his temple. F7 works in the editor to get a word from God. Furnace, fame, abstruse or perfect meanings are right. Okay, so God said his temple must be perfect. What that means is we always break backward compatibility. We don't even think twice. We just change it. And we never plan for the future. If you plan for the future, that means you're not finished and it's not perfect. The BMP file is a classic example of what happens if you plan for the future wrong. They planned for the future and now it's unusable because it's clusterfucked. Anyway, so I set a limit of 100,000 lines of code. This is the vision was a Commodore 64 that's 64-bit and modern. God said 640 by 480 16 color is a covenant like circumcision, so that's intentional. Why don't you meditate on the wisdom of 640 by 480 16 color? That's intentional. Anyway, so I set a limit of 100,000 lines of code so that it never strays from my vision. Think of a Commodore 64 ROM, but instead of 20,000 lines, it's 100,000 lines. So the compiler is 20,000 lines, and the kernel, if you want to know what's in the kernel, there's the disk code for 3 different file systems: ISO 9660, FAT32, Red Sea. There's I don't know. Where do I start? There's it's kind of, I forgot. It's ring 0 only. So it's ring 0 only and identity mapped. What does identity map mean? That means there's one address space for all tasks. So I call it multitasking. It's kind of like one process with multiple threads. That's kind of what the vision is. I don't really want to run 2 video games at the same time. That's not important. But running one with threads is important. So anyway, they're all addresses, all tasks are on the same address map. And so, for example, if we have a variable i64i, address of I can come over here and I can say i64 star pointer equals 0x. Then I can say star pointer equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. How about I can come over here. I can say I. So you can interchange pointers. You can copy buffers. There's nothing. Interprocess communication is ridiculously easy. So you can send text to the input buffer. Here's the task record, 3F. So this puts text in his standard in 5C628 dir. So this guy sent text to this guy. Well, what can we do with it? These are the games it comes with. The best part, the only serious use I make, this is God's temple, and it's good for songs. You should write hymns. Everybody needs to worship God. Okay, so it's 64-bit. There's no crufty 32-bit code. It's multi-cored. It's not SMP. It's master slave. So so Core 0 is special. All applications run on Core 0, and if they want slave cores, they go ahead and explicitly control them. Anyway, so only tasks on Core 0 can have windows, and there's one window per task, and there's a let's look at the okay, so the FS segment register is points to the current task. The GS segment register points to the current CPU. So I'm going to use my autocomplete. This is a task record. It has, what does it have? It has some flags. It has a code heap and a data heap. When your task dies, you have to return your memory to the system. It has a document for the client area of the window, the border of the area of the window. And if you want to do double buffering, it will display one and write to another. The window has these are text coordinates on a, I think it's 80 by 50 grid or something. Anyway, and then the derived coordinates of the text are multiplied by 8 because there's just one font, 8 by 8. Anyway, so it has a current directory, current partition, which is current drive, sibling links and child links. When it gets preempted, it saves the registers. When you it has a draw it callback function. The window manager updates the screen with the callback. Title, border. It has a stack. The stack is fixed size. That kind of sucks. But anyway, the exceptions are not like C++. They're simpler. Like MATLAB, you have an answer. You can use it like a calculator at the command line. Let's see what. There's one hash table. There's a symbol table for each task. That's kind of like environment variable scope. But it has functions and classes and macros, and there's an electrical analyzer. You can have well, anyway. It can have a pop-up. So FS is the FS segment register. Anyway, so how about that?